Hi guys, this is Bosco, and welcome back to another video. In the last video, we ranked the songs off of Van Halen's fourth album, Fair Warning. Now we're going to be ranking the songs off of their fifth album, Diver Down. Now, Diver Down, without question, gets the most criticized. This is the most criticized album of the DLR era. And, as much as the criticism gets, I actually kind of like this album. I actually like it a lot. But, yeah, this album does have some flaws, but there are a lot of great songs on here, in my opinion. The reason why it gets criticized is because Van Halen did some covers back in the day. This is really where the jackpot hits for the covers, and yeah, there are way too many covers. I will just say that. There are there are actually quite a few covers on here that I actually think are great, and some are underrated, some are really great. And there's some covers that are silly and okay, and there's one song that I don't like on the album, and we'll get there when we get there, but yeah, I actually kind of like this album regarding the criticism. I actually think it's a really good album, but however, it is my least favorite out of the original 6 DLR albums. Not bad at all. I actually can listen to this a lot, and I can never get tired of it. And it's way too short, also. It's only just about a half hour. And again, Van Halen's albums especially the David Lee Roth era, they were about a half hour. And then when we got to the Sammy stuff and onward, it was 40 minutes and onward. But I didn't have a problem with the Sammy stuff. But, yeah, Diver Down's way too short, in my opinion. If it was longer, I probably would have enjoyed it just a little more. But I enjoy it as it is. So anyway, there are 12 songs on here, and let's get into this. So number 12, the only song on this album that I just don't like, and this is one of the worst closers. Well, we'll get there when we get there. Oh god, there's this one closer that's really rough, and you probably know what I'm talking about, but that's going to be in another video, another Van Halen video. But number 12 for me is Happy Trails. This closed off the album weak. It closes off lazy. I'm pretty sure they want to end off with the joke and all, but it just goes nowhere. It's a lazy, silly way to end the album. And even Fair Warning, I talked about how the ending to Fair Warning was weird. At least Fair Warning has a lot of great stuff. Fair Warning has, great songs on there. I would think every song on that album is great, but that album ended with Sunday Afternoon in the Park and One Foot Out the Door, and they both closed the album, and those are, in my opinion, the weaker tracks on the album, but I still like them. This, however, Happy Trails, it's pretty cringy, actually, but you can tell they were trying to have a good time and all, but I don't know, it just doesn't do much for me. So Happy Trails comes in at number 12, and it's another cover. Coming in at number 11, this is another one of their covers. It has grown on me a little bit, but not by much. Never really was a huge fan of it. The Full Bug. I mean, it is a interesting rock song. The harmonica in the song doesn't do a hell of a lot for me, in my opinion, but Full Bug is, it has its moments, but it honestly just goes nowhere. Let me put this remote on my table. But yeah, the Full Bug, this is another cover. I can't remember who wrote this song. Only the notable covers I remember who wrote which. Yeah, I just never really was a huge fan of it. Better than Happy Trails, for sure. But, I never really did it for me. The guitar licks are cool and all. The guitar licks are actually pretty good, but other than that, it's just there. So coming in number 11 is The Full Bug. Coming in at number 10, this is a really silly song, and their oldest cover that they did, Big Bad Bill is Sweet William Now. Now, yeah, this song is really silly, but I can kind of enjoy it sometimes. And this album, well, yeah, it is on this album. This song features Alex and Eddie Van Halen's father. What was his name? It was Jan. That was his name. Jan Van Halen, Jan Van Halen. They're from Amsterdam, so I assume it's Jan Van Halen. Well, let's just call him Mr. Van Halen. Mr. Van Halen plays on clarinet on this song, and Eddie's playing on guitar. Alex is just on the snare drum with the brush drumsticks. You know what I'm talking about. I wish I had those. Those are cool sticks. Michael Anthony is using the stand-up bass that they would use in the early days. and David Lee Roth is just singing the song. I always thought it was cool, but even for Van Halen, it's kind of silly. But they were having a good time. They were jamming out with Mr. Van Halen. What's not to like, right? But anyway, that's just my opinion. So Big Bad Bill is Sweet William now coming in at number 10. Coming in at number 9, this is actually a really cool interlude. I actually enjoy this, and this is another one when I listen to now, kind of gets me emotional, because again, now that Eddie's gone, it gets me a little emotional. Cathedral. I always thought it was cool. It's a cool guitar solo. It sounds like you're in a cathedral, if you've ever been in one. But, it just sounds, it's a cool interlude. This came after the first 2 tracks on the album, which, we'll get there when we get there. But Cathedral's, a really, cool interlude, in my opinion. It's very different. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say different, because, Eddie did those interludes. We got interludes before. We got Eruption, the masterpiece interlude, Spanish Fly, the sister song to Eruption, whatever the hell Tora Tora was trying to be. I don't know what that was. That was like a heavy metal intro to Loss of Control from Women and Children verse. Didn't really have any on Fair Warning. Although Sunday Afternoon in the Park kind of feels like an interlude, although it is the same length as One Foot Out the Door. But yeah, Cathedral's kind of like that. There are interludes, especially on the first 5 albums, I guess. There wasn't really one in 1984. Well, I mean, the title track from 1984, that's the intro track, and it kicks off the album, so I guess you can call it an interlude if you want, but whatever. But Cathedral comes in at number 9 for me. Coming in number 8, this is without a doubt one of the most underrated Van Halen songs, and I really enjoyed it a lot. Coming in number 8 is Secrets. I always thought the jazzy blues vibe was cool. I love David Lee Roth's vocals. The guitar is awesome. That's probably the highlight of the song, the guitar. I like that. Although Alex Van Halen's drumming is great. The bass from Michael Anthony is awesome. So yeah, Secrets is an underrated song. Doesn't get enough appreciation. I really think it should. So coming in at number 8 is Secrets. Coming in at number 7, this was a hit for the band. It was another one of their covers, Dancing in the Street. I'm trying to remember who wrote the song. I know who wrote the other 2 obvious covers on here. But Dancing in the Street is really cool. I love the guitar work on the song. I've always loved David Lee Roth's vocals on the album, or on the song. I keep saying the album, jeez. It's Friday, it's the weekend, I need a rest. Anyway, but Dancing in the Street I always really enjoyed. It was kind of, well, I wouldn't say underrated, because it was played on the radio quite frequently, but definitely not overrated. This is not an overrated Van Halen song. I barely even use that word overrated. But, yeah, Dancing in the Street is a really good song, and it comes in at number 7 for me. Coming in at number 6 now, I kind of cheated with this one. This is another interlude. It's Little Guitar's intro. Yeah, I know I kind of cheated, but yeah, it's only an interlude. It's kind of a flamenco inspired intro. It's kind of like Eruption, but it's on an acoustic guitar, kind of like Spanish Fly. But Little Guitar's intro, it's a really good intro, I will add. But coming in, but you know what number 5 is, obviously. Number 5 is Little Guitars, which is an underrated, in my opinion, another underrated song. I love this song a lot. The guitar is awesome. The drums are awesome. I love Michael Anthony's backing vocals on the song and David Lee Roth's vocals. I love the Senorita. I always thought that was cool. So Little Guitars is a really great song in my opinion, and it comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4, if you had asked me a few years ago, this probably would have been at number 1. The song that kicks this album off, and one of their pretty famous covers, Where Have All the Good Times Gone, originally done by the Kinks. And I really love this cover. They do a really good job of it, but their other Kinks cover is better in my opinion, and for most people's opinions. I mean, You Really Got Me was probably the first, I think that was the first Van Halen song I ever listened to. But Where Have All the Good Times Gone is a really great cover. And I saw a video the other day of this was after Eddie Van Halen passed away. There was a video of someone outside of the high school he graduated from, and they were playing Where Have All the Good Times Gone, and there's that big billboard that said Eddie Van Halen graduated in 1972 72, something like that, 71, 72, and it said "Rest in Peace." And then they played "Where Have All the Good Times Gone." I saw that video. I think it was a where they were from California. Well, they graduated into California, so they had emigrated from the Netherlands to California by then. So I think it was Santa Monica or something like that. I think that's where they lived. But yeah, "Where Have All the Good Times Gone" is a great cover in my opinion and a great intro. So it comes in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, you kind of like hear about it later from Fair Warning. This song's grown on me. Now I always liked this song a lot, but this song's really growing on me. Coming in at number 3 is "Hang 'Em High," the second song off the album, which is just incredible. That guitar riff in the beginning is awesome. One of my favorite guitar solos also. Probably somewhere in my top 10 favorite EVH solo. I need to make that list. Excuse me. And "Hang 'Em High" is really cool. Another underrated song. It doesn't get enough appreciation. I remember they played the after Eddie passed away. There was a Van Halen tribute channel. I remember this song getting played frequently. And it doesn't get a lot of radio play, honestly. It honestly should. It's a really good song, but it never was. I don't think it was ever a hit. But coming in at number 3 is "Hang 'Em High." All right, so my number 2 and number 1, it's another intro to song, and there's just something about Cathedral and the Secrets. I paired them together because it seemed like they were together. Little guitars intro and actual song, little guitars, that makes sense. This makes the most sense because it's cool. It's a cool intro to the actual song. So coming in at number 2 is "Intruder." The intro to my number 1 pick. It's just this cool. The drumming from Alex Van Halen's awesome. He's an underrated drummer. He doesn't get enough appreciation. And then there's even some synthesizers. So yeah, you're especially on the next album, 1984, which hopefully will come out tomorrow. I'll record that tomorrow, hopefully. You'll definitely know the synth period, and it was the 80s and all. They wanted to try new stuff, and this is really when the synthesizer period kicked in. And "Intruder" is so cool. It kind of sounds creepy. It sounds like it sounds like an intruder breaking into your house, kind of. But it's cool, though. I always thought it was cool. But that goes into my number 1 pick on this album. Their cover of the famous Roy Orbison song "Oh Pretty Woman," which, in my opinion, is one of their best covers. The guitar on that song is so incredible. That tone is awesome. I really love their cover of this. I love the backing vocals from Michael Anthony. I really love David Lee Roth's vocals on there, and it's just so cool. And the music video, okay, the music video actually has "Intruder" going into "Oh Pretty Woman." The music video is so funny and so weird. There's these two short people. they're kind of like attacking a woman tied up to a pole or something like that. It's so weird. One of the weirdest but funniest videos I've ever seen. And the band is all dressed up in costumes. Eddie's dressed up as a cowboy or something, like a Lone Ranger. I can't remember what Alex and Michael Anthony were dressed up as because I haven't seen that video in a while. I just remember Eddie was dressed up as a cowboy. And I think David got out of a limousine at the end of the music video, which is weird. It was the 80s. They did some weird stuff. But "Oh Pretty Woman," in my opinion, is a great cover that they did. I'm honestly debating which is better, the original or the cover. I don't know. They're both great. But anyway, here's my list. I hope you guys can see that. All right, so that is "Diver Down." That for sure the most criticized album of the DLR era. Probably, well, no, it's not the most criticized album of their entire discography. You know what I'm talking about, but we're going to get into that later in another video. But hopefully tomorrow we're going to be ranking the songs off of 1984, released in 1984. And yeah, you're going to get my opinion on that tomorrow. Another great album. It's really, really great. Well, you'll hear about it tomorrow. You'll hear about it later. Jeez, I had trouble saying that. Anyway, so post your list down below if you want. I actually really like this album a lot. Yeah, it goes by too fast. One, because I enjoy most of the album, and two, just it's a half hour. You know, these Van Halen albums just go by fast. It's just where it's a hi. We're gonna perform for you for a half hour, and then we're gonna take off. It's kind of like that. And yeah, if their albums were longer, maybe well, I mean, I like the length as it is for the DLR era, but you know, it could be a little longer in my opinion anyway. But anyway, please leave a like, comment if you want, view my videos, and of course subscribe. Hit the bell. Thanks for watching this video, guys. This has been Halbuska, signing off. Stay safe, take care.